Hi everyone, just set up a little studio rig. Camera there, camera there, and a camera there. My main camera that's still upstairs. So I just thought I'd just see how I can get on with this lounge room setup. Right, now a while back, quite a while back it was, I actually did a video, this one here. Now about a few months back it was, I was really concerned about the Jehovah's Witness message changing, which I knew it would do, because this is something I learned about when I was a kid. I knew that in the final last days, the Jehovah's Witnesses would have to give out a different message, and they would find it really, really difficult to give this message out. I often call them sort of the modern day Jeremiahs, because as you know, Jeremiah used to give out these messages known as the Prophet of Doom. And that's what I kind of discussed in that one there. But it seems as if now Tony Morris of the governing body Extraction is now trying to sell this new idea to the current crop of Jehovah's Witnesses, that very shortly they will have to give out the most unpopular message. And the way he phrases it, he says, you think you're unpopular now, you wait till you're having to give out this new message, and you'll know what being unpopular is all about then. It won't be easy for them. I mean, if you think about what message that they've got to give out next, they will have to actually say that the system is virtually right at the end and that people have a choice to make. And that choice is simple. We either choose to serve God with a free spirit, heart, soul and mind, or if they reject him, it's likely that they will be then destroyed in this coming carnage after the tribulation. And how easy do you think they're going to find it? They're not going to find it at all easy. It is going to be something where, if you've been in, say, that religion all your life, you kind of been looking, yeah, that's the right word, you've probably looking forward to this day, the day when you're effectively in that tribulation period, so that you can then say that your salvation is sort of getting a lot nearer than previously it was, you know, since the start of the preaching activity got underway. So you kind of be thinking, I can't wait. You know, you'll have this about you, you'll be thinking, I just can't wait for the carnage to begin. Why am I using that phrase? Well, a pioneer sister in Rhyl last year used the exact same phrase to me when I talked about the coming tribulation period and then the subsequent Armageddon. And she said, bring it on, I can't wait. I thought, do you realise what you're saying? You know, you're actually going to find some kind of delight and some kind of happiness in the fact that billions and billions of people and bodies will just pile up. And she says, I know how it sounds, but this is the opinion, this is how we all feel at the moment. And this is what the governing body are preparing them for now. It's, it can be a little worrying, because you can see it one or two ways. You can see that the governing body is using more leverage to keep people in the religion and for them not to leave. So you might think that this is like a heavy-handed tactic, that they're actually virtually saying to them that this is it. You know, get yourself prepared, because the big day is coming. So that's one way of looking at it, that they're trying to use scare tactics, which we know that they have done in the past. Or it could be the fact that it's a genuine call, that they are virtually going to become the modern day Jeremiahs. Who knows? Who knows? We can't prove one way or another, can we, at this stage, whether the governing body have effectively been chosen to be that spiritual lead in that religion. We can't prove they have. We can't prove they haven't. we can't prove God exists, and we can't, you know what I'm saying? There's great arguments for believing that they might be or they might not be. It's sort of like a two-horse race. You know, we just don't know until we get in the final straight on that horse race. We don't know who is going to emerge as the victor. So it could be the governing body, Jehovah's Witnesses, or it could be someone else. So there you go, it's that two-horse race. And there's just not enough evidence being put forward by the apostate community, even despite the two-witness rule and the Australian Royal Commission inquiries. There's still not enough, for me, real evidence that completely, utterly discredits them as not being maybe someone that has received some kind of Holy Spirit and direction. That's what they claim that they've got, you know, they've been selected, anointed, first fruits. They're going to live up in heaven as joint heirs with Christ, and as such, they will share in the vindication work during the Armageddon period, where they'll probably then come back down to the earth and take up arms against humankind. So I'm looking for that proof where they can't be, because it would make things a lot easier if we can sort of discount them as being perhaps this line, this current line, because they certainly increased their efforts lately, and it makes you wonder why. Why all of a sudden are they telling the current crop that your message is going to change and that you will know what being unpopular is all about? I mean, why didn't they say this 20 years ago? I can only think that the reason for that is that in the very final last days, the jigsaw pieces are starting to be put in place. And I can't disprove that they're not receiving something. I don't know. But all of a sudden, it just seems strange that this is the new thinking. I mean, you could say that they're just scared. You know, they're so scared that people are going to leave and they want them to stay because they want to keep propping up that financial institution and keep it going. You could argue that that's why they're using these scare tactics. But what happens if it wasn't that? What happens if they are in fact right about this, you know, this coming carnage and the financial crash that seems to be on its way? Even great economists of the world are saying that there's something coming, but they're not really calling it a tribulation. They're just saying there's a financial crash on the way. It's puzzling. It's very, very puzzling. And wouldn't it be nice to get an answer one way or another? You know, if we can absolutely, without a shadow of doubt, have some kind of proof that this isn't going to take place. Because being a theologian and always burying your head in history and biblical dealings, you can't help but go back to Daniel's prophecy about the King of the North and everything. Are we going to see a confrontation? Are we going to see what Daniel has said that takes place in the final last days? I don't know. Very puzzling, people. Very puzzling. But there's a lot of people very worried, and for good reasons. Because it's the end of everything that we've come to know. If it does happen and the Jehovah's Witnesses turn out to be right. Can you just imagine though, if they're still there with this new message? Just imagine this, right? You know how they sort of stand there with their arms up like that? And they don't really engage you like they used to. unless you go up to them and have a conversation with them and then they talk to you. But can you imagine if you did go up to them during this new message period and they just said to you, look, I'm sorry, but it's too late now. I'm afraid that all that's left down for you now is that you are going to be utterly destroyed, annihilated by angelic forces. What would you say to them then? Would you feel like turning around and grabbing hold of them and saying, how dare you threaten me with such a thing? So how are they going to give out this message when it's so unpopular? Is every Jehovah's Witness going to have an angel at their side so that they can give out this message, and then they can stand behind the angel once they give out the message? And if anybody wants to attack that Jehovah's Witness, the angel will intervene? I don't know, people. I don't know. But I just cannot get my head around the fact that they will be attacked. It will be like they're provoking everyone at this point. Yeah, they expect to be attacked, and they've got a persecution complex, and we know that about Russia. But we're talking now about the new message, the Jeremiah message. I just want to leave that one with you. Go and get your thinking caps on, people, and come back with an answer on that one. That'd be really cool. See ya. Bye-bye.